Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over 5 tips to improve your builds in Ark Survival Evolved. This video aims to help you improve the overall aesthetics of your builds through various means that will make the world a difference in terms of creating an atmosphere and feeling within your creations. So without making this intro too long, let's just get right into it. Varying the materials you use in your build is one of the easiest and best things you can do to make your build stand out and immediately take on a warmer or colder feel depending on the material used. For example, using metal generally will make your building feel really cold and clinical and doesn't mesh well with items and materials that don't match that feeling. For example, a lot of the primitive items such as the campfire will look really out of place in a metal build, however an industrial grill will not. However, if you, say for example, mix stone floors with wood walls, it can make your build feel a lot warmer than just stone wood. It also makes it look a lot more structured in my opinion in terms of the way it's created. Another great example is creating a simple wood hut, with obviously wood floors and walls, and using thatch roofing to cover the top of the build as opposed to a wood roof. Thatch visually looks very warm and has a lot of depth, so your roof will stand out more than, say, a regular flush wooden one would. And the detail of the thatch will give a lot more of a warmer feeling, as thatch is a very fibrous material as opposed to some other options. A combination that isn't often used, probably due to how scorched earth works, is adobe and wood. Whilst adobe is technically a brick-like material, the earthy tones contrast really nicely against the wood, which is traditionally a lot darker than adobe. Therefore it can really add to the aesthetics of the build and make your home feel a lot warmer. There are a lot of different combinations of materials and items out there that can change the way your build looks and feels. It's all really a matter of trial and error, just experiment. That's how I found out what materials work well together. You know, no harm can come from experimentation. If you've played a lot of Ark PvP, especially back in the day like I did, you're probably very used to claustrophobic strongholds full of metal. However, when it comes to building structures on solo, roleplay, PvE, custom servers, whatever, utilising natural light is the perfect way to make your build feel less like a fortified strongbox and more like a natural element of the environment. For example, window frames and greenhouse windows work really well for cabin or home-like builds, as they emulate windows commonly seen in real life. However, if you are going for more of a modern feel, or you intend to be able to view a large area of the map from your house, using greenhouse walls in place of regular walls to create a floor-to-ceiling window is a great way of making sure you use every bit of the natural light and the surrounding area to your advantage. Artificial lighting is another great way to make your build feel much more homely at night. It's all good using all the natural light in the area, but when your home descends into inky darkness as soon as the sun sets, it can be quite impractical. Utilising wall torches, for example, is a great way to light more home-esque builds, as they don't require the floor space that standing torches do, and they provide a nice amount of ambient light without being too overpowering. Wall torches are probably my favourite item to use to light builds, but there are many other options out there in Ark that work wonderfully well for the purpose of lighting a build without it feeling overpowering or out of place, or breaking the character of the build. Generally speaking, electric lighting is not a great choice, especially if you're using metal in your build, as it will be near blinding because for some reason the light reflects off of every surface. It's like being hit with a flashbang constantly. There probably are some good ways to use more of the high-tech lighting options in Ark, but generally speaking I feel like the more primitive options of torches and such are a much better fit for most builds. Creating depth within a build is not an easy thing to do at all, and it can be really hard as a beginner builder. I struggled with it for a long time. It's too easy to just build a box and live in it. Try to experiment with other shapes in your building to make your home feel just that bit more unique. A great way to approach this is building your house room by room rather than just as a whole unit. It will be much better at helping you plan and visualise your house, whilst also keeping the shape unique. Other ways to add depth include adding things like overhanging ceilings above doors, railings, porch entrances, corridors, and my personal favourite, corner supports. To create a corner support, you will need to build your foundations and then place a pillar in each corner and build them up to the desired height before placing any of the walls, otherwise this won't work. This can make placing walls a bit finicky initially, as you need to make sure the clipping is dead on the edge of the foundation and not slightly backwards, otherwise you will have a slight underhang that looks very weird. But the initial result is beautiful, and if you're using contrasting materials, for example wood walls and stone pillars, it can make your build look incredibly unique and very well structured. And finally, one of the biggest pitfalls of creating homes is item placement. For some reason humans love symmetry, so many people take the time to place items down perfectly in line with walls and corners, or with other items to both save on space and make everything look perfectly uniform. Whilst this can work for some structures, take a look around your own house. Things aren't perfectly placed unless you're one of those people, and if a stranger were to walk into your home right now, they would know it's a place that's lived in. Placing objects at angles to walls and corners and such, and generally not in a perfectly uniform fashion, definitely helps the build feel far more genuine in terms of being a place to live. With items like the smithy, tables, beds, etc., it will definitely take up more floor space. However, having these varying elements within your builds can make them stand out as feeling immediately more comfortable and natural. Thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've wanted to put a few tips together for a while to help out some people that are kind of just getting into building in Ark or are looking for ways to improve. So if you found this video helpful, leave a like, it always helps the channel grow. I do have some more tips that didn't quite make it into this video, so let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a part 2, I'm definitely happy to make one of those. Don't forget to join our Discord as well if you want to chat about Ark, Atlas, hang out, play games or suggest things for the channel, the link is in the description. Finally, check out the channel whilst you're there. I'm trying to get some consistent content out at the moment and grow as much as possible before we hit the new year, so your subscription will always be greatly appreciated. If you do subscribe, don't forget to turn on notifications too and be the first to see the next video, and join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.